Darrell, first of all, you've landed a new signing. Tell me more about Joe Lumley.
Yeah, Joe Lumley comes in. He's third choice at QPR. QPR got two very, very good keepers in Smithies and Ingram. So, but he's very highly thought of at QPR. I've seen him in a couple of games a few years ago. To be fair, he's a good size, good presence. So hopefully he can come in and do a good job for us.
And he's played for the QPR first team, and he's had loans at other clubs.
Yeah, he's had a bit of first team experience as well. So he's looking to get some games under his belt and show that he can, prove it in League One level.
You'll tell me your team at 2 o'clock on Saturday, but 21 and ready to throw him in if and when necessary.
Joe Lumley will start. Yeah.
He will start, will he? Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a show of faith then, isn't it? I guess you wouldn't bring a loan player to the club unless you were ready to throw him in.
I don't paper over cracks. I try not to anyway. Our goalkeepers haven't performed well enough this season for whatever reason. We set the high standards here, and for me, they've cost me quite a few goals, if I'm honest. So you have to keep looking for the answer. I was looking for a permanent answer, but for whatever reason, tried a couple of number twos in Championship, but finances sometimes is a stumbling block because Championship players are on top class wages. So but Joe comes in. I'm delighted to bring Joe in. Thank Ian Holloway, who I get on really well with, top man Ian, and he's very highly thought of there. So we'll look forward to seeing how he does.
I was going to ask you about a loan rather than permanent. Is it easier to perhaps bring permanent signings in the summer rather than January?
Yeah, no, without a shadow of doubt. That goes without saying, to be honest with you. So unfortunately, things don't work out as planned, but you always have to have a few backups in line. So it's a loan, but it's an opportunity for the lad, and he's keen as mustard. He's determined to do very well, and I know he's got all the attributes and certainly the desire to do well for us.
And we won't know whether he'll sink or swim until he starts playing some games for Rovers.
You never know that. To be honest with you, that's in any walk of life of any signing you sign, whether you're paying for a player or you're bringing a loan in. It's always, is the signing going to work? You've only got to look up and down the countries. Different signings work at different clubs. Let's use Chris Lyons a bit of an example. He never really consistently ordered a place down wherever he's been, but at Bristol Rovers he's been an absolute superb player for over the years. And sometimes players fit certain clubs, and sometimes signings work, sometimes don't. But you've got to, as a manager, you've got to get more right than wrong, otherwise you get the bullet. So.
And do you have an idea in your head how many more new players you'd like to bring in before the end of the month?
Yeah, probably looking at another 2 or 3. To be honest with you, there'll be a few changes at the club, and that'll be more detail in nearer the time. But it was always going to be a bit of a period where a few players will be leaving and a few players will be coming in. So we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, and just is that more likely when you say nearer the time, like nearer the end of the month, rather than nearer the Walsall game, for example?
How long's a piece of string? Yeah, so we'll see. Good try though.
No, I've got to try that. That's my job. Walsall then on Saturday. If you could start replicating your home form away from home, then I think it's been a very positive season. It would be an even better season.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
No, it's not rocket science, is it? To be fair, I mean, the results away from home, especially we lost our five away games, haven't been as what we'd expect, and it's a reason why we're not in the top 6, to be honest with you, because our own form's been fantastic now for 2.5 years. But away form last year we had 11 away wins, and I think it's a mixture. I think we've been a little bit unfortunate in games, but then certainly our standards have dropped of late. I thought we deserved some at Sheffield United, deserved to win the game down at Southend on a bad decision, and when you look at it and you're only 4 points off the playoffs, these points all mount up. But certainly the results have been disappointing so far this season away from home, and we need to, like you say, put that right side if we can.
Yeah, you do have previous away from home, like you said last season. I think at Northampton early in the campaign you were targeting 10 away games this season.
Yeah, well, that's always my target. I'm not a manager that sits at the start of the season and go, I'll be happy with mid-table, because I don't like talking rubbish, to be honest with you. You should always aim as high as you possibly can. And certainly away from you've got to win as many as you can at home. You're not successful unless you win in home games, but away from home it should always be the task for me to try and get double figures. We're falling way short of that at the minute, for the reasons I've just said, different reasons, and sometimes you don't get that rubber to green away on important decisions and whatnot, but we've got to look after ourselves and not look for excuses, and make sure that we try and get a few more away wins on the board come the end of the season.
Most weeks you tell me that anyone can beat anyone in this league. Walsall, an example, they lost at home to Rochdale one week and then beat Sheffield United 4-1 the next.
Listen, I think our supporters and anybody can see that League One's packed with real good quality teams with good quality players, and you've got to be at it every game. I believe when we're at it, if my players are playing as well as they can, we're a top team. But we'll try and do that Saturday.
And if anything, the Rovers fans are up for it. I think you're close, if not probably will sell out on Saturday, the away.
Nah, listen, we want to give a fantastic support that comes away, something to cheer about. I know they'll get behind the lads. It's not like we're not having a real good go away from home. The disappointing thing for me is we had a look at it. In the last 4 away games, we've only conceded 16 shots against on target, and 12 of them are in the back of the net. Which probably works in why I brought a keeper in, isn't it? So sometimes you need your keeper to make an important save at an important, crucial moment in an away game as well, certainly. So I don't think we're a team that ever gets up massively under the cosh. I don't think there's many times this season where we've gone. It's really been backs to the walls. We've had spells where it's been that, but not consistently. And 9 times out of 10 in most of the games this season, we've created more chances than the opposition. So it's always in both boxes, and we've got to certainly defend our box a lot better than when we have been of late.